for Tammy, who's a little under the weather, so she's going to take our minutes for us. Okay, let's get right down to our business. First item on the agenda is a review of the minutes from the November 16, 2021 meeting. I had a few comments on page 2. Anybody have anything on page 1?
Nope.
Paul Kaplan will be here in a minute.
All right. All right, on page 2, the second full paragraph, and the line that begins 15%, period. Then it says ground coverage is currently 10%. I would add before that, by current regulation, comma, ground coverage is currently 10%. Vinnie was distinguishing between the lot density requirement back when the subdivision was approved, which was 15%, and noted that by current regulation, it's 10%. Then the line goes on, Attorney Marino believes that the boat checks comply with the regulations which were in place. I would say need to comply with the regulations which were in place when the subdivision was created. Okay?
6 need to comply.
Right. Again, for that same reason I just mentioned. And then in the next paragraph, on the second line, Attorney Kersaden stated that this proposal is for an allowed accessory use. They needed to appear before the commission because the height and size of the proposed structure. I would say needed appear before the commission for a special permit because the height and size of the proposed structure exceeds what is allowed under the regulations. And that's all I had.
Page 2, Deborah, third to last paragraph, end of the first line. I think that should be then.
Where was that, Tom?
Page 2, third to last paragraph, end of the first line.
That.
Much larger than he expected.
Okay, yep, I got it.
Where Mr. Cornell applying.
All right, anybody, anything else? If not, we can entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved for November 16, 2021 meeting.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Smith, seconded by Commissioner Tarenti. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, vote is 4-0. All right, next item on our agenda is old business. Does anyone have anything that they'd like to bring up under that topic? Okay, we'll move on to item number 3, new business. Anybody want to bring up anything under that topic? I have one thing to mention under new business. I just want to make sure that on our agenda for next meeting in January, the first meeting in January is an administrative meeting where we elect officers.
Got it.
And I looked at the bylaws. I didn't know, but we only do that every other year in an even-numbered year. So I don't know whether we did it this January 2021.
I think Paul did it before he left, because I was here for the last time we had the officer voting,
All right, so,
which would have been 2020, so the proper year.
yeah, so the bylaws, the first meeting in January of even-numbered year shall be an organization meeting, at which time officers will be elected, so. And it says it's supposed to be on the agenda.
Yeah, got
My
it.
sense of it.
All right. So, I mean, somebody hopefully will be prepared to make a motion to, for a slate of officers at the next meeting. All right. Anything else under new business? Okay, item 4, Jack reported the zoning enforcement officer.
I don't have anything too much With the cold weather rolling in and a lot of the leaves falling off the trees, I will say we have had some uptick in complaints just for blight and things like that. So I've been riding around town looking at those properties. Let's see, we hopefully have our final version of the the commercial vehicles in the residential area. But other than that, I do not have much to report.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Question, Jack. Did you get a chance in your travels to go by that issue near the middle school of a
Oh, I did, yes. Yeah, I drove by there. Yeah, there wasn't really too much there. I know that the resident more had an issue with the occasional backing into the driveway. I guess the resident is blocking the road for 20 to 30 minutes. But the person who brought it to my attention said it's once every 2 or 3 weeks. So it's a little hard for me to get the evidence there. But I did take a ride by, and I'll keep an eye on it as well.
Okay, good. Anything else to report?
I don't have anything open to.
Okay, any other questions for Jack?
The construction on the Indian River Road assisted living.
They're going full steam ahead.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. They're trying to open. I get a lot of calls actually from residents and people in the area wanting to get the management's number so they can go in. So I'm sure they already have close to a full house there. Honestly.
Good. All right, then we'll move on to our next item. Item 5 is the site plan application submitted by Jambia Nutritionals, Inc. for property known as 50 Prindle Hill Road. And the application seeks to construct a parking lot expansion to improve current parking conditions. Is the applicant here?
Yes.
Come to the podium. And if you could, introduce yourself.
Of course.
For the record.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ian Feeney, representative of Glambia Nutritionals, formerly Watson Food, over on...
Sorry, I need your name again, sir.
Sure. Ian Feeney. Formerly Watson Food over at 50 Prindle Hill.
Thank you.
Of course. We're proposing a parking lot expansion. We've increased the number of employees at the facility. We don't have enough parking to accommodate them, so they have to park on the driveway, which causes some hazards when we have shipping trucks coming in. So we'd like to add some more parking south of that. It's roughly 16 spaces as drawn up now.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
The only problem is this plan wasn't quite big enough.
Yeah, there was a mix-up at Staples. I'm sorry for the extra large plans. It does make them easy to read, though.
That explains that.
I'm going to put it here and look. You said 16 spaces?
Yes.
Okay. That's what it looked like to me.
It'll ultimately come out to 30 total.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions for the applicant?
I just have one comment. I don't see anything on the plan that addresses storm drainage.
The storm drainage was addressed at the wetland permitting meeting, but if you look on the main drawing, you're looking at the correct one now. It's in gray. It wasn't called out initially. The only thing that's called out is the dark oil trap that we'll be putting in.
Right.
So on the east side of the building, we only have one drain line over near shipping. So we're going to do an interceptor pit there to be able to get any oil that'll drip off of a truck potentially before it goes into the retention pond. From the retention pond, it goes roughly southeast, kind of kitty corners the new parking lot, and hits a catch basin that's just on our side of the curb before it overflows essentially to the city's catch basin about 3 feet south of that.
So
Where's that?
basically, he's collecting the new pavement, sending it down the driveway where coming around the corner, then it goes back into the retention basin.
Yeah. We're also creating
Oh, I
that
see,
southern retention basin that will catch it. If you look at the gradient on the new one, the new parking lot, that'll hit grass for about 10 to 15 feet before it goes into a retention swale. And
Okay.
then that'll drain through a slightly raised gradient that we'll use from the topsoil that we're excavating for the new parking lot. And that'll give us some type of retention so you won't have a steady flow.
Okay.
That way we can do some percolation through.
Jack, has the town engineer signed off on it?
Yes, he has.
Because what was in our package didn't look like he had signed off.
He had, for the site plan, they all reviewed this for the wetlands application as well.
Okay.
So he gave his sign off then, I had put it in front of him again now, and he signed off his, I have his signature. I have the original, yours were copies.
Yeah, so the town sanitarian, is a town sanitarian?
Sanitarian, yep, every necessary department head.
All right, so on an application like this, we wouldn't see a sign off from the police or the fire department.
They still provided it because it is necessary for a site plan application. Obviously, it doesn't have a whole lot of input for them, but they did obtain
Fire
it.
and safety are on.
Not, oh, I do see the fire.
Yeah,
right?
Jamie.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, I do see Jamie. All right. But you have all of them, though?
Correct.
You're all set.
Yes, sir.
So since a site plan application requires a lighting supplement and there isn't one, does that mean there's no lighting? in the
We
parking
weren't
lot?
planning on adding any lighting initially for the winter. We're thinking about going solar standalone units, but it hasn't been formally decided on yet.
Okay, so your testimony is that we're currently approving a plan that has no additional lighting, it's existing to remain.
Yes.
And if you decide to come in and add lighting, you'll give us some information to show the
We'll provide
proper
that package,
cutoffs and
yes.
such. Thank you for your testimony.
When would you begin construction?
We're hoping to be able to get this paved by the end of the year, so asphalt plants will roughly close in 2 weeks, so we're hoping to break ground on the 9th, Thursday.
Okay.
I mean, it looks like this area was previously disturbed in the original construction, judging from how it's contoured, so maybe you'll get lucky and find something stable to build on.
Hopefully. If not, we're doing 8 inches of aggregate underneath, so
Okay.
it should be able to be
That'll be
stabilized.
plenty.
All right. Paul, you have a question? No? No? Not a very exciting application, right?
Next time we'll bring something really exciting.
Balloons,
Yeah,
fancy bears.
you got it.
All right, well, if there are no further questions, then thank you.
All right.
I don't think we need any more information.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So there's no public hearing
No, this
portion?
is just a site plan.
Okay,
Just a site plan.
so we don't have to close the hearing, we can just?
Nope. We can just vote on it. We
Okay.
discuss it, vote on it. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward to
It
me.
does.
It seems straightforward, and it seems like a real high-class problem to be adding more employees
Yep.
to the,
And
to the project,
And it,
and to give them a safe parking area.
yeah, I mean, that's what I was gonna say, that it improves safety of that parking area. We should be in favor of that. All right, then, is somebody prepared to make a motion to approve the application?
I'll move that we approve the site plan application submitted by Glanbia, I think it's pronounced, Nutritionals, Inc., for the property known as 50 Prindle Hill, to construct parking lot expansion to improve the parking conditions for a total of 16 additional parking spaces.
All right, we have a motion to approve the plan. Do we have a second?
Second.
Tom seconds the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. None opposed? All right, very good, thank you. All right, so we're up to item 6 on our agenda. We have 2 public hearings tonight. Paul, you've read the public, the notice for one of them. You should have a notice in front of you to read for the other.
We have one public hearing one notice. Only the first item will be read tonight.
Okay, can I just see that? Somebody put it someplace? I got it. To appear one time on To appear one time on Tuesday, November 23rd, 2021, and one time on Tuesday, November 30th, 2021, the Orange TPZC Notice of Public Hearing. Notice is hereby given that on Tuesday, December 7th, 2021, at 7 p.m. at the Orange Town Hall, 617 Orange Center Road. The Orange Town Plan and Zoning Commission will conduct a public hearing on the following. Special permit application submitted by Orange Plaza LLC for the property known as 200 Indian River Road to install a swim school in the LI3 district under Section 383-90 of the Orange zoning regulations. That's the only one that I'm reading tonight, right? Okay, a copy of this notice has been filed with the Orange Town Clerk. Additional information is on file in the Orange Zoning Department dated in Orange, Connecticut, this 22nd day of November, 2021.
Okay, thank you. Paul? You want to proceed, please?
Certainly. My name is Amy Suchins. I'm an attorney at Hurwitz, Sagarin, Slossberg, and Nuff with offices in Milford. I'm hoping that this is slightly more exciting than the parking lot paving. And if it is, I'll go get balloons and come back.
Right.
So with that, I think the application narrative outlines what the proposal is. This is the center that I think everybody knows. This is the Christmas Tree Shop Center. Bulldog Swim School is intended to occupy about 9,000 square feet of the center, directly adjacent to Montana Knights axe throwing. Bulldog is obviously going to operate a swim school. Kyle Shack from Bulldog will come up and just give you a quick overview of what the intended use is and description. But as we noted and addressed in the legal notice, we believe this is permitted under Section 383-90A of the zoning regulations. It's a service provided primarily at retail. This is, as you'll hear, a frequent in and out type of use. The lessons are approximately a half an hour. People will come into the center, have their lesson, come out. And we think it's very consistent with the uses already in the center, very complementary to not only the Montana Knights and Golf Lounge, but also the more traditional retail uses in the center. So with that, let me have Kyle just come up and talk to you a little bit about what the proposed use is, and then we can address any other questions. The one thing that I did know, Jack had conveyed earlier today that there was interest in a floor plan. I did provide a copy of that to him. If anybody on the commission is interested, I do have a copy of the intended floor plan for review.
Okay, good, thank you. All right. Jack, that's the order.
Hello, my name is Adriana Marmolejo-Shack. I am Kyle's wife, and I'm here to tell you that swimming changed my life. I have been in swimming since the minute I was born. I was born into a swimming family. My dad was already a coach, a two-time Olympian by the time I was born, and my mother figured, since I was going to be hanging out by the pools, that it was only a matter of time until I fell in. And out of safety, they thought maybe she should learn how to swim. I did learn how to swim. I fell in love with it and participated in 3 Olympic Games representing Mexico. Swimming gave me the opportunity to come to the United States for college. It gave me the opportunity to travel the world, to meet amazing people. And due to an injury, I was forced to retire. I was completely happy with everything I had accomplished, but felt that I owed swimming a tremendous debt. I not only was able to come here and get an education and meet amazing people, also met my husband. So everything I have, I owe to this sport. coaching was just a natural progression for me. Felt like that was just a good connection that I could just give back to the sport. So I've been coaching for the last 15 years. We have a swim club doing competitive swimming in New Haven. We live in Hamden. And a gap that, we still have is to learn to swim. That with this swim school, we hope that we can address that. Drowning is the leading cause of death in infants ages 1 to 4. So we believe that everyone should know how to swim, especially, for us being surrounded by water everywhere we look, spending our summers and around pools and beaches. Swimming is just a necessity, and we are very passionate about that. We want to offer that service to, obviously the people in Orange. We decided on that because we already frequent Orange very much. I shop here. We come to eat. We come to the Costco all the time, shop to the mall. So, we feel like we can touch a lot of lives through this swim school. And, it is just really our mission to just bring safety. If kids fall in love with the sport and find all the blessings that I have, then, great. If it just saves one kid from drowning, great. And if it just gives someone a fun place to hang and find good friends and, just a healthy lifestyle, we're very happy that that's something that we can provide. Thank you.
Thank you.
And my name is Kyle Shack. I'd just like to make a friendly amendment to the previous testimony that it was met amazing people, including my husband. Not,
That's a nice way to put it.
yeah, not separate.
You do better than most of us.
And so with the only thing I want to add to that, so right now we work at Yale with the varsity swimming and diving program. And what this would be, again, is not competitive. This is a learning to swim. It's retail, giving lessons. So a family would sign up and come in once a week for their lesson, which would take 30 minutes. They may decide to sign up for multiple sessions and come in and out a little more frequently. But we're looking to attract about 2,000 people a week in and kind of generate hopefully 30 jobs, mostly part-time, but 30 jobs in the area. So happy to answer any questions.
What's the size of the pool?
There'll be 2 tanks. There's going to be a 20-foot by 75-foot as well as a 20-foot by 40-foot.
How deep are these pools? You need to speak louder because I'm not picking up your question.
Question was, what is the depth of the pool?
How deep are these pools?
Yeah, I think the pool depth will be about 3 to 3.5 feet. The deepest part would be about 4 feet. So the instructors will be standing. Some kids will be able to stand. Others will have platforms in so that they have a place to stand as well.
Thank you.
I just have one sort of practical question because I think it's a very creative use, and retail, bricks and mortar retail, is going to be faced with having to find a lot of creative uses in the future. But I assume that the center is hooked up to public sewer, and there's a certain filtration cycle going on with the water, and I didn't know if there were any particular, permitting you needed to go through in order to discharge, the chlorinated water into the sanitary sewers.
I know that there are some regulations with which you each city. I don't know the specifics, but as far as the amount of water that we would discharge, it's not much. It's a kind of a once every, so we recycle the water that we're using as opposed to discharging and refilling. Occasionally we do discharge all of it, and I think we just have to let the city know, when that happens. Otherwise, we have, I think we have plans for 5 toilets and just kind of normal.
Yeah,
wear and tear.
but it's not going to discharge out into the pond outside or any of that nonsense stuff.
No,
Yeah,
no,
okay,
no, no,
it's
no.
all closed in. Thank you.
They would have to get all that through the health department.
Department.
Yeah, they
Okay.
look at pretty much any indoor pools, like the hotels, stuff like that. That would be through them.
Did we have to get an approval for the health department in connection with what they're doing right now?
Not for the use, but when it actually comes to implement their idea, if they were to get an approval tonight, they would have to go through the health department and probably WPCA as well for any sewer connection or something like that. But not for this specific one, because we're just looking at the use.
Yeah, I was just
Oh,
going to
so it's
say.
not the
Right.
site, okay.
It's not a site plan, because there's no external changes, correct me if I'm wrong, that.
Correct.
Right.
So you wouldn't have any sign-offs tonight by like
Exactly.
town engineer
No.
or anything like that?
Right. It would likely, health department, et cetera, would all happen in connection with the building permit.
Correct.
Would site plan approval be required?
Not if there's no changes to the site.
Right.
There's a pool there now.
No.
No.
No,
The
but
exterior of the
it's all
building.
inside the
No, I
current
mean,
building.
no exterior
Change.
Right.
change to the
building.
footprint of the building.
So
That
if
would
it's all-
trigger a site plan review, but
But as she indicated, it'd be all building department and health department really working.
So really all we're looking at tonight is
The use.
special
in
permit, special
that
use
district.
permit.
And for the change of use, we're going to have to evaluate that the existing parking ratio will handle this like it was regular retail.
At any one given time, I'm sorry, Kyle, or what's your first name?
Adriana.
Adriana. You'll have to step up again. At any one given time, how many people are likely to get lessons?
So at one time, we would have between 40 and 60.
In the pool at the same time?
Yeah, between the 2 tanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what will the hours of operation be?
We'll operate from 8 in the morning until 9 at night.
And 7 days a week?
Yes.
Yep.
7 days a week.
Are the parking requirements the same for any other retail use? Is that your read of the regulations?
Correct, that it would be consistent. We have 820 existing parking spaces, so we do think that there's more than adequate parking on the site, consistent with the retail use.
So you're looking at a 9,000 square foot space, so even if you didn't.
36 spaces.
Yeah.
How many?
They've got 36 spaces that would only belong to them if they're not sharing, so they should be covered fine.
Right. I mean, it's hard to imagine if there's not adequate parking.
Right.
That's
Or
right.
that the kids drove themselves there.
Right. 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 And to be frank, one of the things that we're anticipating is that if you have, obviously if you have a small child, you might be in the pool with them, but if you have, for example, I might drop off my 11-year-old, go take a lesson, I run over to the store, we're parking once, visiting multiple, it's sort of the inherent and frankly, the consistent, draw of this operation in the center.
Okay, any other questions for the applicant? Anything else you want to add?
Nothing that we have, and
Okay,
the only member of the public is a representative of the property owner, so.
all right. Well, I feel like I have to ask anyway. Is there anybody in the public who wishes to comment on the application? No. All right. Okay, I guess, thank you then.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing.
Okay. Motion to close the public hearing by Commissioner Cornell has been seconded by Commissioner Kaplan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Who wants to start us off?
Well, I see a lot of similarity between this use and the Golf Lounge 18, because they're retail and open to the public, and there is a component of instruction.
Right.
Because at the Golf Lounge 18, they do give golf lessons. I don't know if Montana Knights, if they give axe throwing lessons. I've never been there, but
They do.
they do. Okay.
Not
So-
that, I know someone who's been there.
So to me, it's a creative use. It's good to fill a building, and I think it fits the zone. I think the use fits the zone.
Yeah, and it's not phrased in terms, the regulation says stores and other buildings where goods are sold or services provided, primarily at retail. So I think the service aspect of the proposal is what tells me the use is, one, permitted by special use permit. Kevin, you want to have anything to add?
No, I like the idea.
Yeah. Tom or Paul?
Judy said it great.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea. It's, it fits the zone. The LI3 is meant to be a transitional zone between other industrial uses and the commercial uses on the post road. I think this sort of fits in with the character of the use in that neighborhood, in that zone. And I think we need to make the usual findings as to this being something that merits approval as a special use. I don't see anything that makes this disharmonious with the neighboring properties or neighboring uses. I don't see it as a major traffic generator, problematic in that respect. I don't see it as adversely affecting property values. If anything, the opposite is true. I mean, a more well-occupied building is worth more money. So I see that as a positive. We don't have sign-offs from police and fire, right? But that'll come. I mean, they'll get an opportunity to review.
Right, yeah, if there's anything for them to review, they'd be doing it at the same time as building permits are being pulled, where the health department will look at any of the filtration, so.
There's no reason to believe that the fire department can't fight a fire or serve an emergency at that.
Nope,
Joking there someplace.
Right. But I don't know, that's what I see. Tom, you want to add anything?
No, I took a ride over there. There's perfectly good access all the way around that building,
Right.
so there should be no issue.
All right. Well, it sounds like we're in agreement on it. Someone prepared to make a motion to approve the application?
I'll make a motion to approve the special permit application submitted by Orange Plaza LLC for property known as 200 Indian River Road to install a swim school in the LI3 district under section 383-90 of the Orange zoning regs.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Paul. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, very good. Good luck with the project.
Yep.
Thank you.
That would be good.
All right.
Yep.
Last item on our agenda is the petition to amend the Orange zoning regulations submitted on our own initiative. This has to do with the parking commercial vehicles in the residential district. I think we had gotten to the point at our last meeting where we were basically all set on the wording of the revised regulation. I think we just wanted one more we had one or two minor
We had one
comments.
tweak, yep.
I think we just wanted one last opportunity to review that and hopefully approve it tonight. So when I first looked at this, Jack, you had current language And I thought that's what you were presenting as as the final form. And
We're
I-
back to square one.
Yeah, and I said, wait a minute, there's the same language, about enclosed garage or accessory, stored only in an enclosed garage was still in there, but thankfully, the proposed revised language is on the second page, the back of the first page.
Maybe I just really like talking about this all with you.
Which I reviewed, and the one comment I had is taken care of. Might just all take it, if you haven't already had a chance to look at it, take one final look at it before we do anything further.
You have another copy kicking around anywhere?
Oh, yeah, I should.
I feel like I'm taking your advice.
No, I'm fine, Paul.
Memorize.
Tom has it memorized.
Yeah.
Oh, you got one?
Yeah.
No, I think the language cleaned up to achieve the desired effect, which I believe we agreed was the issue we were trying to solve was allowing people who were owner-operators of businesses to drive their vehicle home at night if and they sometimes had either advertising signage on them
Yeah.
or they were commercially registered. But, so, what we wanted to do was balance the need of that person to come home at night with his neighbor's reasonable expectation of people not running a commercial business enterprise out of their homes.
Yeah.
Provided that vehicle was no more than 7,500 pounds curb weight.
Right. So that was the balance point we struck. And we didn't want to be regulating if a family of outdoor enthusiasts had five pickup trucks in their yard.
Yeah.
Those were their personal vehicles.
Right.
And I think if we actually read this out loud, which is sometimes is very helpful, it achieves those results.
No, I agree. I mean, the one problem we had last time we looked at it was that we said that the vehicles had to be parked in an enclosed garage,
And that was,
and that was an impossibility. I mean, everybody would. The trucks are too big. Pickup trucks too big to get into a garage, a normal garage. So that language has been deleted.
and, well, I don't want with,
Don't do
with
it,
the,
Paul.
I know,
I'll make a motion.
with a little bit of trepidation, we chatted a little bit about school buses, and we decided not to. We exempted out.
The language
That exists.
accommodated the exceptions, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Accommodated a school bus parked in a residential zone.
Owner-operated, yeah.
Owner-operated school bus. That- Right.
A use or facility operated by or for the town of Orange or regional school district number 5. Seems like that was
So they're-
there for
they
that
are
purpose,
allowed, right.
I mean, to cover that. So, as usual, I think we've beat this horse completely to death. And I don't know, it's do or die time. So I think it accomplishes the purposes and achieves the good balance that Kevin was talking about. And I see no reason why we shouldn't adopt it as part of our regulations at this point.
So we need to close the public hearing.
So let's close the public hearing. We have a motion for that?
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
It's been seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Our public hearing is closed. I don't think we need any further discussion on the matter.
The only thing we need is an effective date.
What do we have to do for effective date again?
2 weeks?
We could do 2 weeks. It could be sooner. I know we had this conversation last time where I just have to get a notice in the paper.
Okay.
So we could do an effective date of,
December 25th.
yeah, we could do the 20. We could do the 14th, which is next Tuesday. We could do the 21st, the Tuesday after.
21st.
21st.
Yep.
Sounds
Oh,
good.
right.
And do we give it a citation, like a designation, or you just put that in when it goes into the regulations?
Of the effective date.
No.
The section.
Section number, or do we just?
Numbers and
Or is there a number on it already?
There
It
it is.
is numbered.
Oh, good.
Section.
4.
Yeah.
380, oh, I see. Good.
Yep.
Sorry, a quick procedural question. Should we have noted that there was no one from the public here to comment and that Jack had not received any public comment on this
Yeah,
before
sure.
we close the public hearing?
Well, I mean,
Well, we did, but you can make that part of
we
it.
already closed the public hearing.
That could be
Bill.
part of our
But I-
deliberation.
Oh, it's gonna be part of the
That is the
deliberation.
case.
Got
Yes,
it.
that is the case.
We're going to make that observation.
Thank you, Jack.
We don't want to forget, it's the language we've been reviewing, but then there's some other language that modifies other sections.
Yeah, the
goes
other
to the
minor
signage.
tweaks were signage, just so we didn't have any misconception of signage being allowed in the residential district and taking the signs that we're allowing on these vehicles as part of that section for signage. So just to make sure that we were thorough with this.
All right, so how do we refer to this for the purpose of our motion, Jack? Is it sufficient to say
Well, these sections are
proposed
on-
Town of Orange zoning regulation amendment dated 11/5/2021? Now, that's current.
As revised,
Yeah.
because the first page is different than the.
Because you have the standards for all districts.
The language on the front page, these are the sections that we are revising right now.
Okay.
All of them. So if we just want to include that language there, because those are all the sections that we're amending.
Yeah, but the problem is, though, that there's no revision date on the proposed revised language.
I see what you're saying. All right, are you looking for a revision date of today or
Yeah,
when
I mean,
we started this?
Just so we're all clear on what we voted on.
Yeah, then we could include today's date
All right.
in the revision.
Can you handle that?
I think so. Let's see. You looking for a motion?
Yes.
Good.
Unless anybody wants to do something else.
What's exciting is
I'm very talented. Limited, but talented. Okay, so I'll move that we approve the petition to amend the Orange zoning regulations as submitted by us, the Town of Orange Planning and Zoning Commission, to amend Article 3, Section 383, 26I, 4 little a, parenthetical a, and Article 19,
Yeah.
Sections 383-186 and 383-187, off-street parking in the residential district to include the updated standards for commercial vehicles as illustrated
As reviewed as the final version this evening.
yes, today, the 7th day of December 2021, shown as the proposed revised language on the petition. I don't know what else to say.
To the aforementioned sections.
Yep. So you want me to tell these sections or this?
Well, you already did.
I did? Okay, then that's it.
I think that covers it.
I think so.
All right. Do we have a second for that motion?
Second.
All right, Commissioner Tarenti seconds the motion. Any discussion on the motion at this point? All right, then, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, it's unanimous. We can put this file away.
Yay.
Very good, Jack.
Yeah,
Way to
thank
hang in there.
That'll make life a little bit easier.
All right, well, that actually concludes our agenda for the
I'll
evening.
move that we adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn from Commissioner Kaplan. Second.
Second.
Been seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you very much. No meeting, no second meeting in December.
No kidding, really?
Next meeting will be, no.
Okay.
Next,